So PreCalc, here we are with your standard 6 quiz review. Just going to go through a couple of these with you to give you a feel what's going on. Probably do a couple off the front and then do like one of them off the back. And hopefully this will set you up for a positive experience with your quiz. Alright, so these problems are coming from section 2.6, page 191, 31 through 50, and 55 through 68. And with these rational polynomials, we're looking for domain and range, which I actually don't think is a question on the quiz, x and y intercepts, and asymptotes. And we have vertical asymptotes, we have horizontal asymptotes, and now we have slant asymptotes. So let's start with, let's just go to 35 over here on the right-hand side. Okay. Probably the easiest one is actually to start with the asymptotes first. Okay, vertical asymptotes. Vertical asymptotes come from when the bottom equals 0. What would make our denominator equal 0 if x was negative 2? And that would give us our vertical asymptote at negative 2. Okay, horizontal asymptotes. Horizontal asymptotes, remember, if the top is bigger, if the numerator is bigger, then there is no HA. If it's a tie, we divide. And if the bottom is bigger, then it's automatically 0. So what situation do we have here in 35? 2x plus 7 over x plus 2. Which one has the higher power of x? 2x to the first, x to the first. They're both x to the first, so that's a tie. So then we divide. 2x over 1x is 2 over 1. You got 2 over 1, which is 2. So y equals 2 is your horizontal asymptote. Okay? X and y intercepts. X and y intercepts. X-intercepts are when the top equals 0. Top equals 0. Okay, so 2x plus 7 equals 0. We're going to run out of room down here. Maybe I'll come up here. 2x plus 7 equals 0. 2x equals negative 7. X would be negative 7 halves. So our x-intercept would be at negative 7 halves or negative 3.5 comma 0. Your y-intercept comes from substituting 0 in. It's always 0 comma something. So if I plug 0 in, we'll have 2 times 0, 0, plus 7 on the top, and 0 plus 2 on the bottom. So we'll have positive 7 over positive 2. That's positive 7 halves, or 3.5. 0 comma 3.5. Okay, just a coincidence that those are the same number but opposite. That doesn't always happen. That's just a coincidence this time, so don't think that that is related. Okay, and then domain and range. Domain and range is basically all real numbers except whatever your asymptote lines are. Okay, except whatever your asymptote lines are. So your domain is going to be all x's except your vertical asymptote, negative 2. And your range will be all y's except your horizontal asymptote of 2. And again, purely coincidental that those are the same number but opposite signs. Okay? And if I'm looking at the quiz, which I am, it gives you a function similar to this, and it says find the zeros. That's number 1. Number 2, find the vertical asymptotes. Number 3, find any remaining asymptotes. So horizontal asymptote or slant asymptote. And then the 4th part is a problem from the backside. Okay, so this one was a horizontal one. So let's do this one. Has potential to be a slant asymptote. So we'll look at this one. And this one might be copied right out of the book. Okay, so we got x squared minus 9 over x. Okay, where is our VA? Your vertical asymptote comes from what makes the bottom equal 0. Well, if x is 0. So we'll have a vertical asymptote at x equals 0. Okay, HA. X squared on the top, x to the first on the bottom. The top has a higher power of x, so there won't be an HA. None. Well, there's no horizontal asymptote because the top is bigger. Now the top is bigger by 1 power squared over x to the first. When the top is bigger by exactly 1 power, or 1 degree, that's when we run into the slant asymptotes. Okay, and we have to do the long division. Boo! Alright, long division. So we're going to take our x, or x plus 0, and divide it into x squared plus 0x, don't forget to put a 0x placeholder, minus 9. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, when we do long division, we compare the fronts. So we got x squared divided by x would equal just x. And then we multiply it back to the front. X times x is x squared. X times 0 is 0x. In long division, we subtract down. X squared minus x squared cancels out. 0x minus 0x is still 0x. And we bring down the negative 9. Okay, comparing the fronts. 0 divided by x is still 0. And we multiply that 0 back, and we get zeros. And we subtract down, and we have negative 9. So we have a remainder of negative 9, which we would do like minus 9 over x for the remainder, this itty-bitty little fraction over there. But all that matters is this real part here, the x plus 0. That is your slant asymptote equation. You could do just y equals x, or you could have the x plus 0. It's the same thing. So there's our asymptotes. And then we need x and y intercepts. Remember, x-intercepts come from when does the top equal 0? When does the top equal 0? Well, we got x squared minus 9. So x squared would equal 9. X would equal plus or minus 3. So we would have 3, 0, and negative 3, 0. Your y-intercept would come from when you plug 0 in, which we technically can't, so we don't have one. We'd have a vertical asymptote at 0. So we don't even have a y-intercept this time. Domain is going to come from your vertical asymptote. We have all x is not equal to 0. And then our range should come from usually it's everything but the horizontal asymptote. But we don't have a horizontal asymptote. I think we're going to be okay with all real numbers, is what we're going to say. It's probably going to look like not all real numbers when I type this in. We had x squared minus 9 divided by x. Oh yeah, range is going to be all real numbers because this is going up forever and this is going down forever. So we'll have all real numbers on the range. And you can see the vertical asymptote here at 0, and you can see the slant asymptote right there at y equals x. But each one of these branches will cover all the y values forever. So all real numbers on the range. Okay, and again, your primary focus for your assessment is finding the zeros, the x-intercept. When does the top equal 0? Find the vertical asymptotes and other asymptotes. Okay, that's the first 3 parts. Part 4 comes from the back side of your review. Okay, we did these yesterday. All right, which one should we do? Let's do let's just go ahead and do the top one. So, most of them on our notes today gave us something, 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 less than or equal to 0. But then there was a couple of them where it didn't. And if it doesn't have a 0 on the right, that's our first step, is actually to make sure we have it with a 0. X squared plus 4x minus 21 less than or equal to 0. And then we factor. We think about what multiplies to negative 21 and adds to 4. Okay, we're going to have, let's go positive 7, negative 3. So we'll have x plus 7, x minus 3. What makes each one equal 0? Negative 7, positive 3. Those are going to be our key numbers. We're going to put those on the number line. Those are our key numbers. We make our number line now. In order, we have negative 7 and 3. Then we do our test numbers. You know I like the bigger ones, negative 10. Then we have 0, that's a nice one, and then I go positive 10, just because 10s are usually easier to do mental math with. Okay, so like example, negative 10 squared is positive 100. 4 times negative 10 is negative 40, so that's still going to be 60. Minus 21 is still going to be positive. If I plug 0 in, 0, 0, negative 21, that's negative. And then if I plug 10 in, that's 100, 40, minus 21 is still going to be positive. Now look at what we want. We want, when is this less than or equal to 0? Negative, right? So we want the middle piece. And it gave it to us with or equal to's. So we're going to use or equal to's. Negative 7 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 3. All right? That should get you started at least. That's about half. You'll have a handful more, 2 or 3 more on the front, and 2 to go left on the back. But that should get you started and well on your way. Okay, check Schoology or your email for the answer key to this, and you should be all set for your quiz on Friday. Thanks for watching, and best of luck.